You certainly know our next guest, former Oriole BJ Surhoff. And all this month, we're shining the light on autism awareness. And today we're talking about fathers who have children with autism, like BJ here. He and his wife, Polly, founded Pathfinders for Autism. It's great to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Always good to see you. For those who aren't familiar with your story, what exactly is it? Tell us your situation.
Well, we have 4 children. They're 20, 19, 17, and 16. And our 19-year-old son is autistic, and we found out when he was 2 years old. So we've known since 1994, and a number of us, about 10 or 12 of us, helped found Pathfinders back. I think it's 11 years now that we got together, and the organization's really grown by leaps and bounds, and we're doing a lot of good things throughout the state.
And a lot of great things in the community. We're going to talk about a fundraiser that you have coming up. When you found out that your son had autism and he was 2 years old, at the time that had to be incredibly stressful for you and for Polly, because I imagine that you were traveling a lot. I was.
We found out when he was 2 years old, so it was in March or May, March or April. You know, it all runs together after a while. But there were many times when I was away, just like with the other children, I missed out on things, and it was a very difficult time because we really didn't know a lot about it. If you looked it up, a lot what came up then was schizophrenia. And that very old diagnosis. So there was many times where things would happen with him, and one thing in particular, as we were talking about a second ago, is my kid, we had a pool, and she was getting them all out of the pool when they were young, and she'd gotten him, he was a towel, she'd get nearly, she turned around, all of a sudden he was gone. And so it was and didn't find him for about a half hour. And so he had walked down the street, as a little 3-year-old boy would do, across the street down to a pond, and was throwing stones in a pond, and he had no clothes on, and she had turned her back for literally 30 seconds, and he was gone. And fortunately, our neighbors across the street had found him as the dogs were barking at him.
That'd be so scary.
Yeah, so it was one of it's a helpless feeling. You know, I'm not there, and there's many things, and I'm not the only, obviously, that's ever happened to, but it was a situation that was very, very difficult to handle, and we had the police. It was getting dark, and it was a terrifying situation.
What advice would you have for fathers who have autistic kids?
Patience. You know, it's a very, very difficult disorder. Not that any disorders are easy, but and every kid's different. You know, every child deals with different issues and how you deal with them. And it's a stressful thing because it's a 24/7 everyday event. It's not something that goes away. They get better. You know, some kids improve. Mason's done very well. You know, just see as he does his schoolwork, and he loves to be in the water. And fortunately for us, you know, that one particular event that he was near the water and he was water safe was a very, very that was the only real comfort that came with that. But it's tough, you know. And when you travel, a lot of times so much falls on the spouse at home,
right,
and the support system. And I had to travel a lot, so a lot of it fell on my wife and her support system and the other kids.
So it had to be scary for her, and then a helpless feeling for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do. The only thing I could try and put myself in her shoes of what she was going through. You know, I got the sweats.
Sure.
So it was a very difficult, and you know, there's situations that arise with all your kids at different times, but they get magnified with them because there's just only the understanding part, and they don't always understand what's going on. So it was, there's some really tough situations.
But that's why Pathfinders exists. That's why you started it. And you guys really rely on fundraisers. I know last year you had a great fashion show. This year you're going to do a golf tournament. There's going to be a run coming up, but the golf tournament is the next thing. Tell us a little bit.
It's May 9th at Hillendale. I believe it's our 11th year. It's one of the biggest resources for us in terms of fundraising, and it's a really nice event. It's very low-key, and we have a good day. We do a great job. We've had some great people support us, come back year after year after year, and they have a connection to the cause. That we play golf, you know, have a little dinner, have a little bit of fundraising at the end. Some people will speak, some families. My son usually speaks, and some other people. So it's a nice, very, very low-key day, and we've been very blessed with the support we've gotten.
Okay, well, if you're sitting at home right now, take a look at your screen, write down that information, because it's all available, and it's such a great organization. I know I was telling you, my sister has a son with autism, and she checked out your website and said it was so helpful, you know, just to have a place to go so you don't feel so alone when you first get that diagnosis.
Yeah, well, the board and the staff's worked really hard to try and make it an organization where people feel very at ease to come and talk to us, and pick up the phone, or to have somebody on the other end of the line that knows what you're going through. That's really important to us, and that's one of the things we think we do very well.
Well, you certainly do. Thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
BJ
you.
Surhoff. If you want more information, check out abc2news.com. We'll put this interview along with all the information about the golf tournament on May 9th. Charlie.